Medicare Part B penalties. Yes, they absolutely exist. No, they don't happen as frequently as you might think. Of 60 million people on Medicare, approximately 700,000 are paying Part B penalties or late fees, if you will. Not that that's a good thing. You just need to know how to navigate through the Medicare system so that you don't get the penalty. What we can say is that if you do not have qualified coverage, and what I mean is if you cannot go back to the Social Security office when you do finally apply for Medicare, let's say you're 72 years old and you finally decide you need Medicare, if you go into that office, you need to have special forms that are basically verifying to the government that you've had coverage elsewhere and you've had proper coverage elsewhere. And if you cannot prove that, you will be assessed a penalty. The penalty is 10% per 12-month period that you have not had adequate coverage as a replacement, if you will, for Medicare. So, an example, someone that we worked with had Obamacare, ACA, Marketplace, whatever you'd like to call the insurance, with a large carrier, and he turned 65 years old, and he was confused with Medicare. He had people approaching him. He was very confused. He shut down. He didn't do anything. He stayed with his Obamacare coverage, paying $700 or $800 per month. So he essentially ignored it. A year later, he called us and said, okay, I'm ready for Medicare. Can you help me? Yes. However, at that point, he did not have verifiable, creditable coverage, we call it, with Medicare. So we could not just send him to Social Security to go get Medicare. So he had to wait until the general election or enrollment period of Medicare in January to go get coverage that started later. And this is where it can get very confusing. So by the time he finally went in and his coverage starting, he does have a 2-year Medicare Part B premium penalty. So that penalty will be 10% for 2 years, so 20% penalty of the base rate. His base rate is $135.50. He's going to have 20% of that as a surcharge or a penalty that will carry with him forever. So this is what people don't understand. It's not a one-time pay your fee and move on. It is a penalty that stays with you for your entire life, essentially. So again, be cautious of penalties, absolutely. Don't get too nervous. Don't confuse the Part B penalty with Part A Medicare coverage. A lot of people assume it's the one and the same. It is not. There is generally no penalty ever affected or associated with Part A of Medicare. The penalty is connected to Part B. So just understand it. Call us. We'll walk you through what you need to do and how it relates only to you.